Support for Sports Page is provided by the University Store. The University Store is the official headquarters for Mules and Jennies emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store, located on the lower floor of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. And promotional support for Sports Page is provided by 1450 Cocoa, 98.5 The Bar, and WarrensburgRadio.com. 1450 Cocoa, 98.5 The Bar, and WarrensburgRadio.com, the radio home of UCM Athletics. And tonight on the UCM Sports Page, we welcome Jennies volleyball coach Flip Piontek and Mules basketball coach Kim Anderson here in studio. In our Sports Page Spotlights, we'll meet the super sophomores of the 27-1 Jennies volleyball team, and we'll preview the Mules wrestling season. All of that and more is straight ahead on this week's edition of Sports Page. Hello again, everybody, and thanks for watching the University of Central Missouri Sports Page. I'm Sean Jones, and our first guest tonight has led the 2013 Jennies volleyball team to a 27-1 overall record and a number 5 national ranking heading into the final week of the regular season. If the Gens win 2 matches this weekend at home, they win the MIAA title. Joining us now to talk Jennies volleyball is head coach Flip Piontek. Coach Piontek, welcome back. Sorry, I put the pressure on you there, I suppose.
I got to say, the national ranking is nice, but the most important thing is the regional ranking. And so for Division II, that regional ranking is on the line this weekend too. So. And
to talk about the toughness of this region, I mentioned you're 27-1 and ranked second in the region.
Yeah, but the team that's ahead of us is pretty good, and they've only lost once too. So I really don't have any trouble with that. You know, when the defending national champions in your region, you defer to them. I'm okay with that.
So 27-1, if you win 2 more, as I mentioned, you win a share of the MIAA title, and an MIAA that is so much tougher than it used to be, and now with Kearney in and other teams. But Kearney comes in here on Friday night, an elite program, and then Fort Hays State comes in here, a very solid program that has scared you late in seasons before. It's not going to be easy this weekend.
No, it's really not. And really, you know, when you're a coach and you're watching other matches, like I wasn't watching. Kearney played Washburn on Tuesday night, and I wasn't watching it. My wife was at home. Come here, let's look at these scores. She goes, Washburn's down 0-2, and I just want to know what I got to do on Friday night when it comes. I'm okay with that. Now, you know, by having Kearney with the loss, I wanted to beat them. I didn't want to have. So, you know, you're stirring up the hornet's nest a little bit. So, no, they're a very solid program. They will not finish first or second now. So the question for us is we have the possibility to finish first, second, or third in the conference, depending on what we do this weekend. So, you know, at the beginning of the season, if you told me when we were playing Kearney the last weekend of the year we could be first, second, I think I'd take that.
Absolutely. And you're getting everyone's best effort. I mean, Jennies volleyball always has the NCAA tournament appearances, I think, 33 in a row for the program. But the further you go along with that one loss, you know, when it's 19-1 and it's 22-1 and it's 26-1, you're getting everybody's best shot in a big way.
The further we went along with that, 0 after that was it gets heavy after a while, you know, carry that around. And, you know, really what you end up with in the conference finals in terms of the seeding for the postseason, there's really not a team in those top 8 that there's no walkovers anymore. So those teams that are earning their way into, you know, positions 5, 6, 7, and 8, they're playing very good volleyball now.
It's interesting you mentioned that. In the new MIAA, if you have a scenario like basketball and volleyball and others where the top 8 make it, it's not the top 8 out of 10 like it used to be. It's the top 8 out of 14, which means you have a solid mid-level program in the best league in the country coming at you as the 8th seed.
Well, the 4th seed, for example, the 4th seed is 20-6. Like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
The last 4 opponents have obviously played you very close. You've had some closer matches. But on every occasion, you've closed out the match strong. And I think that speaks maybe to the mental toughness of this team. You maybe have had some lulls during the match, but you finished strong.
You know, and really what we've been struggling with is at this time of the year, you got nagging injuries, and every sport has it, and every team has it. And, you know, when you have injuries to some of your key players, those things are harder to work your way through. But really our team's been able to work through that and to compete. You know, when you're playing at 13-13 in the 5th set at St. Joe on last Friday, you put yourself in a position on the road to win that match, and they did a great job. So.
As you look at this team and their season to date, and obviously what lies ahead with that 27-1 record, what do you think still needs to get better for this team to maybe have a chance to be one of those elite Jennies volleyball teams?
And I've talked about this a lot. And yesterday in practice, we concentrate. I didn't have much time on the court yesterday because of the basketball games, but we concentrated on siding out. And there's a certain percentage that we want to try to shoot for, and that it's about 65. Anything over 65%, if we can, when the other team serves, if we can side out 65% of the time, we're going to win the match. And recently, over the last couple of matches that we've struggled and lost games, we've been at 50 or 47 or 49%. So that's kind of what we've been working on, the consistency and our ability to side out. And yesterday, we had Julia running different sets than we normally run in practice. So just to kind of give her a concept of things she can possibly run that what we run over the course of the season, and then give the opponent something different to look at when they see us the next time.
Coach Piontek and I continue to chat. We're looking back at highlights from the Jennies' last home match. That was November 5th against Northwest Missouri. We're also going to talk a little bit about November 8th at Western that Coach Piontek alluded to. Take us through this match, though, and some of the keys to victory.
The keys to victory in this match, boy, I got to remember back.
Seems like forever.
I got to say, coaching is built on what's up next, not what happened in the past, okay? We played, when we were at Northwest, it was a very, very competitive match. And so we knew that we were going to get their best effort when they came here. And so our ability to adjust to what they did at Northwest, they ran a lot of what we call 31 sets, and it's a different kind of set. Not a lot of teams do that. And we spent a lot of time in practice trying to adjust to those. And I thought we did a very nice job in terms of adjusting to our offense to allow us to put us in position to take care of that. So we did a pretty good job of that.
And there's a player that has just been so key for you, Reilly. 27 digs, 3 service aces in this match alone.
She's been averaging a couple aces every match now, last couple. She's leading the conference in aces, and people wonder why I start off the lineup the way I do. I want her serving first. I'm sorry. She serves first, and then Julia serves second, and they're 1 and 2 in the conference in aces. And in this game, any kind of free points you can get is terrific. So
there's a nice play right there. All started by Reilly with the pass, and then get it out to Julia Bates, and she's going to set it. Look at that, and then Taylor, wham. That's pretty. You're going to miss that. Enjoy that down the stretch of the season.
That's what everybody tells me. So I don't think anybody can. Oh, nice. That's a pretty good block.
Boy, is Taylor good displaying at a high level this year or what?
And I'm really thrilled for her. And I don't know exactly what the key is, but maybe we should have told her it was her senior year 2 years ago. She's doing a terrific job. And even Carly right there, the player, the team has been consistent and in their effort and in the quality of work that they're putting on the court. So it makes it tough for other teams.
Yeah, Carly Sojka does some things that you see the potential to be one of the greats. I mean, the back row kills where she can just hit that thing and just...
Not only the back rows, but she doesn't make any errors back there. They're all in play. And, for the setter, I'd like to see a whole lot more of that from that young freshman
I think you're going to get a chance to, too. She's got some pretty good genes as well. Yep, as we watch the Jennies, there's Carly in the middle. We talk about Carly Sojka.
That play right there, we did that a lot yesterday.
But this match, too, obviously one of those where Northwest plays you well. You have to come back, but you, again, finish strong. And then last Friday, you travel to St. Joe. You take on Western. Griffins jump out to a 2-1 lead, but you found a way. Take us through that match, too.
That match was very, very inconsistent in terms of the effort. I thought both teams were reluctant to play volleyball. I know that doesn't sound strange, but both teams are out there and just kind of going through the motions. And I thought we were very fortunate to win set 1 because we played very mediocre in sets 2 and 3, just very average volleyball. And so I thought in set 4 we were up 17-3, and I thought we had things kind of figured out and we were on a roll. I mean, 17-3, the game should be over. And the next thing I know, I have to call a timeout. We're up 18-14 because they've crawled their way back in. So the volleyball match was very, very disjointed, but a lot of effort. By the time we got to the 4th game, with a lot of good effort. And then in that 5th game, back and forth. We were at 13-13 receiving. I'll take my chances to receive because I'd like to get that point. And then we block a ball at match point. So I thought we were fortunate to get out of there with that win. I thought Missouri Western played well enough to win that match. But I was very happy with in terms of the overall results of that match.
And pretty impressive poise on display by the Gens on the road. There you see the final numbers from the match in St. Joe, the number 5 Jennies fighting back to beat Western 3-2. That was on Friday. Carly Sojka, 20 kills. Taylor Goodness with 17. Julia Bates, 42 assists, 11 digs, 3 service aces. Annie Reilly with 20 digs. Jen's now 27-1, 13-1 in the league. And in addition, the highlights you just saw were from the Jen's last home match, as I mentioned, November 5th. 3-1 win over Northwest on Dr. Peggy Martin Court at the Multi. Tremendous balance right now, Flip, from your team. And certainly being 27-1, I guess you would expect that. But, you know, we're seeing oftentimes maybe 4 or 5 players with 9 or more kills. And, you know, you see Julia with a lot of digs, Annie with a lot of digs, and then Julia has the assists, and all the way around the team we go.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know if I could pick one player who is the key to that. You know, I guess you got to point to Julia because she does so much. She touches the ball every time it's on our side. But each individual player, whether it be Taylor hitting it really, really hard, or Annie keeping the ball in play, or even, you know, players like Mikalee when she comes off the bench and gives Taylor a break in the back row, you know, what she's doing for us in the back row. I feel like everybody knows what their job is, and they're trying to do it. So I think teams get in trouble when players try to do other people's jobs and try to do too much. So, you know, in all those timeouts in Missouri Western, you know, we're trying to say, just relax. You have a job to do. You know what that is. If you do that, we'll be just fine. And like I said, we lucked out a little bit there, but that's okay.
Friday night, senior night, number 5 Jennies, number 7 Nebraska-Kearney. Game 1 of 2 this weekend, win both to win an MIAA title. Got enough going on? Is that enough storylines? Wow.
That's enough storylines, yeah. And then you throw in the regional rankings and all the things down the road in terms of postseason play and eligibility for that. You know, you're second in the region, but the region that we're in is pretty tough, and that could change pretty dramatically depending on the results of what happened this week. And I'm glad we're home. I really look forward to playing on our court. I'm really happy for our seniors because these two have had a relatively wonderful career here. They're really good. They're really good representatives of our university and our program. So I'll be, you know, you're sad to see them go, but then, you know, Julia's already in grad school and she's ready to go. Taylor's working on her academic stuff, and she'll be around for us for next year to help around, and they don't ever go away, really. They kind of stick around.
No, that's part of the great tradition of Jennies volleyball. Julia Bates and Taylor Goodness, regional titles, MIAA titles too, so they've been here where this team is before, and that's leadership that you cannot replace.
No, you cannot.
So those 2 young ladies know how to handle themselves in these matches, but it will be interesting because it is their senior night too. But again, come on out to the Multi if you can, folks, on Friday night, 7 o'clock. Number 5 Jennies, number 7 Nebraska-Kearney. We'll honor Julia Bates and Taylor Goodness as well. And then, Flip, the all-time trap game, if I've ever seen one, is Saturday at 4 o'clock against Fort Hays State, because if you win Friday night, you have to beat Fort Hays State to win the MIAA. If something happens and you don't win Friday night, you still need to win Saturday because of regional implications. So this is a huge match Saturday at 4, and you're going to earn every dime you make as the volleyball coach to get your team refocused.
I got to say, refocusing will be difficult match-wise in terms of the level of competition, okay? Quite frankly, Fort Hays is not as good a team as Nebraska-Kearney. But Fort Hays knows they're not making the postseason. They know they're not going to qualify for the NCAA. So for them, I don't know how I would treat it, but this is their NCAA postseason tournament. For them, this is their, whatever they want to call it, their regional championship. They have absolutely nothing to lose. They've been playing better recently, so they're doing a very good job, and they'll give us everything we want on Saturday. I know that.
And the other thing I did want to mention to folks, these matches this weekend are the final ones for the regular season, final ones for things like the Command Pass and all those great perks to come cheer on the Jennies. But next Tuesday at 7, the Jennies will host an MIAA tournament first-round game. That will be the postseason. So good news is you will be right back at home next Tuesday.
And I'll be on my home court again. So, that sport court is we're the only one that has it, and we like it. It really does give us a little bit of an advantage.
You know, I've noticed that, Flip. A lot of D1s have the wood courts. Some D1s have the sport court. Why do you like it?
I like it because it's a tradition that we've developed over the years. If you've been around the Multi long enough, you remember back when we had the portable wood floor for the basketball, and we had the portable sport court for the volleyball. And then very early on, the seniors came to me and asked me if they could put a specific design in, because it was just a red court with black around it. And then they said, well, can we put a CM in the middle? I think we started off with putting Jen in the middle of the court. And then every year after that, the seniors asked me if they could change the design a little bit. And if you look at it now, we have an interlocking CM out there. So the court becomes kind of a rite of passage where the seniors get to design what they want in the court. When that sport court is down, there's no three-point lines, there's no lane. It's strictly a volleyball court. So the fact that it's a volleyball court and that the seniors have developed a sense of ownership over it over the years, I think that's why we like it. I really do.
And it comes down to this weekend, 2 to win the MIAA title. Friday night 7, Saturday at 4. Number 5, number 7, Jennies and Nebraska-Kearney on Friday. Jennies and Fort Hays State on Saturday. Senior day, regional implications. But hey, this is why the young ladies work so hard. This is what it's all about right here. If
you didn't want to play this match, you're in the wrong job. So I'm looking forward to the match. I know the players are too. So it'll be a great job. It'll be a terrific environment on Friday night.
Well, it's been a great season. Hope it continues for a long time. Flip, thanks for the chat.
Thanks for having me on.
Coming up next, we just talked about those great seniors. Well, we previewed them and talked about them earlier this year. Next, we're going to shine the student athlete spotlight on the sophomores of Jennies volleyball here on SportsPage. And welcome back to SportsPage here on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. In this segment, we shine the student-athlete spotlight on the super sophomores of the 27-1 and 5th-ranked UCM Jennies volleyball team.
We obviously are doing very well. We don't get to 27-1 for no reason. We have a lot of team chemistry, and it definitely helps out on the court, and it shows. So,
yeah, like you said, being 27-1 doesn't come with just going through the motions. It comes with being productive at practice every day, just like every other team tries to be.
And I definitely think that we've been really working as a team. Like, it's not an individual sport, and you have to have like every single person putting in that effort. And I really do think that even like the bench, who's been like very supportive, it's just been a really big team development, which has been really good.
I think recently our thing has been we need to serve receive better and work out of serve receive. We did good the first half of the season, and recently we've had a little lull, but I think we're working on that and we're getting better as we move on. And I think that's something we need to keep to move on further into the postseason and compete with other teams.
I think our biggest thing right now is playing at our level, not playing down to other people's levels, and I think that's where we kind of get stuck. We sometimes take games a little bit farther than they should be, so we just need to learn to keep finishing games when they need to be finished. So.
I really think that Carly brings consistency, especially in both the back row and the front row. She's always her defense is incredible, and we can really rely on her in the back row and the front row to put the ball down whenever we need it, and especially in a tough situation. She doesn't ever freak out or anything. It's just more of a just give it to Carly, and we know that it'll be put away.
Both my defensive players, when I'm in the front row, I can rely on them to have my back in the back row. I pass next to them, I play defense next to them. I will never question their ability to play defense, and that's nice to have when you're in the front row. When I'm in the back row with them, they both are very solid at what they do, and I think that's what makes us more solid as a team as well. Defense first, and then move on from there.
Annie, she's definitely my mentor in the back row. Whenever I'm struggling, I know I can always look at her, and she only has to say one word or just smile at me, and I know that okay, we can do this. And I've never seen someone play defense like she does, and she has an amazing serve. I know every time she goes up to serve, everybody in the stands is just in awe. They don't know how she can do it because she's a libero. I feel like they always expect the hitters to be able to jump up like that, but she's awesome.
For this season, I really think some of my personal goals have just been to keep up the consistency all the time, and that's been kind of a struggle recently, but I really think that this year we've been doing pretty well in the back row, especially all three of us, we all play back row, and our defense has been pretty solid, and I really want to definitely win the MIAA, but if we could go on to regionals and at least I would love to win it. Everyone would love to win it, but if we could just go and play solid and know that we played the best that we could, that would be the greatest thing that we could do.
We just did a giant scavenger hunt to promote our games Friday and Saturday, and I mean, we enjoy that time we spend together. We turn it into a competition. I mean, we enjoy one another when we're around one another. I mean,
we all live together too, so there's a lot of team bonding there. We all get we all get pretty close, so whether it's a good thing or not. But yeah, we see each other all the time.
I think that our fan base has been really incredible this year. I know that my family loves to come to the games. They come to every home game, which is really awesome, and I know a lot of us have families as well that love to come to every single game. And the people that, the students from UCM have been awesome. Like, a lot of the freshmen bring their people from the dorms, and we have some friends from our friend group as well, and they've just been really awesome. Just coming to support us and everything, and the people from Warrensburg even, we love to see them at our games. They are always here to support us, and they're always watching the stats online and just keeping up with us, which is really cool. So we'd love to play in front of them. It's really, really fun.
We have such great fans because when we are on the road and it's tough to play, we always look up and we see familiar faces, and that's the greatest thing, I think, is because it's not just at home, it's when we're on the road, when we really need our fans, and that's something special.
While seniors Julia Bates and Taylor Goodness are the unquestioned leaders of the 27-1 volleyball Jennies, the sophomores you just met are a huge reason the Gens are in the midst of a special season. UCM fans enjoyed the journey with the 2013 Jennies, but with that group coming back as juniors in 2014, the future of Jennies volleyball looks very bright as well. Coming up next here on Sports Page, we'll take a look back at how Central Missouri's fall and winter sports teams performed this past week, and we'll visit with Mules basketball coach Kim Anderson. All of that's on the way when Sports Page continues right after this. And once again, thanks for watching Sports Page here on KMOS-TV. Coming up in just a moment, we'll visit with Mules basketball coach Kim Anderson. But first, let's take a look at how the Mules and Jennies performed this past week. And we start with Mules football. The Mules won their 4th straight game to end the 2013 season last Saturday at Walton Stadium Kennedy Field as they roared back from down 27-0 in the second quarter to defeat the Fort Hays State Tigers 48-34. The Mules scored 41 unanswered points and went on a 48-7 run the final 36 minutes and 43 seconds of the game. It's the first time since 1988 that a Mules football team has won at least 4 games to close out a season. The Mules finished 2013 at 6-4, losing those 4 contests by 24 total points. 3 of those close losses came to top 10 teams. The 6-4 record gave the program 7 straight winning seasons and 16 winning campaigns in the last 17 years. Levance Taylor returned kickoffs for touchdowns in the last 2 games of the season. He was named the MIAA Special Teams Player of the Week. The 8th-ranked Jennies basketball team opened the season hosting a top 25 showdown with number 23 Minnesota State Saturday night at the Multi. The Gens got 30 points from All-American Kiana Flax, and they knocked off the Mavericks 96-88. Flax was named the MIAA Player of the Week for her performance in the first top 25 home opener in Jennies basketball history. Wednesday night, the Jennies hosted William Jewell in another Division II in-region contest at the Multi. Kiana Flax scored 23 as the Gens defeated William Jewell 85-68. The 8th-ranked Jennies now 2-0 on the young season. The MIAA champion Mules cross-country team finished in 2nd place out of 23 teams at the NCAA Division II Central Regional in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The 2nd-place finish qualifies the Mules for Nationals in Spokane, Washington. The Mules had 3 all-region runners at the race as Laban Cialo finished 2nd. Tyler Stuber was 5th, and Adam Treadway finished in 13th. The Jennies finished in 17th out of 30 teams in the regional race. Megan Glayman finished 21st to pace the Jennies. The Mules wrestling team went 2-0 to open their season last Friday night with double-dual wins over Labette Community College and Wentworth at the Multi. The Mules defeated Labette 41-3, and they beat Wentworth 54-0. Frank Cagnina went 2-0, as did several other Mules. Cagnina is ranked 7th in the nation at 141 pounds. The number 3 ranked Jennies bowling team finished in 3rd place out of 14 teams at the Valparaiso Crusader Classic last weekend in Merrillville, Indiana. The Jennies went 13-2 at the event. They're 22-7 on the season. Courtney Baker and Gabriella Mayfield were named to the all-tournament team. Mules basketball has won back-to-back MIAA titles. However, this year's team features 10 new faces. Despite the relative youth and inexperience that goes along with losing 8 seniors from the previous season, this new group is off to a 3-0 start. Joining us now to talk it over is Mules basketball coach Kim Anderson. Coach A, welcome back.
Jonesy, good to be back.
Great start to the season, 3-0, including a couple of big Division II in-region wins on the road. Got to be pretty happy with the way things have started.
Well, I am. To be able to go to Sioux Falls and beat 2 Northern Sun teams who both have been successful in the past, and I think both will have good years this year, was certainly a great deal for us, because you just never know early in the season how guys are going to react, especially going on the road and playing in a somewhat hostile environment when you're playing Augustana up in Sioux Falls. So really pleased with that, and then to come back last night and for the most part played pretty well against Tabor, and a team that you should beat, obviously, but I was impressed with the way we started, and with the exception of about a 10-minute gap there midway through the game, I thought we played pretty well.
Not only do you have 10 new faces and really 12 guys that didn't play last year, you've also been shorthanded. 3 pretty significant injuries, including 6'9", 240-pound Dylan Deck, expected to be a guy who will flourish in this system this year. He's been out with injury. That was a big loss, literally and figuratively, up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, but other guys have stepped in and stepped up.
Well, the strength of this team, I really do think we have some depth. And with Dylan being out, and Connor Wheeler's been out with a shin problem, and Brad Woodson broke his thumb in the Mizzou game, and he'll be out. We will end up redshirting him. It's given some other guys the responsibility of stepping in and playing, and it's given them some playing time. And so to be able to win the games, that's what's the good part. You win the games when you're shorthanded. Dylan will be back for Saturday's game, I expect. Connor's still feeling his way around, trying to get better from his shin injury. So, I think we have some depth, and I hope that the injuries early in the season have provided these guys with an opportunity to play.
Well, let's talk about the season opening weekend in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the Sanford Pentagon Basketball Classic. Beautiful new arena there in Sioux Falls. I know Wisconsin and St. John's played on Friday night. Then you opened with Northern State, a very solid program out of the Northern Sun, D2 in-region game. New group of guys, a little shorthanded with injury, and you grind out a win, 66-65. Talk about that impressive performance.
Well, it wasn't very pretty. To be honest, I didn't really expect it to be. Northern's a team that's got great tradition, and legendary coach Don Meyer coached there recently, and he retired about 4 years ago. It was a game where we got a little bit of a lead, and then they came back, and down the stretch it didn't look real good. We were down I think 4, and Dalen Robinson makes a play, and then Preston Bruns hits a jump shot off an inbounds play that we drew up in the huddle, and then we go down to the other end. I think there was 35 seconds left, or somewhere in that neighborhood, and we had a great defensive stance, and then right at the end they get a shot off. Brendan Hughes blocks it and gets the rebound. So you might think you stole one there, but I really think it was 2 pretty even teams. As I watched Northern play the next day against Missouri Western, I became even more impressed with them. They have outstanding guards, and we did an outstanding job on their guards. And their 2 6'5", 6'6" guys hurt us, but their guard plays their strength, and I thought our guards really did a good job of containing them.
Well, let's flash forward now to Sunday. Augustana, the opponent. The Mules and Augustana both in the NCAA Division II Central Regional last year. They're a much bigger team, but you were able to out-rebound them without Dylan Deck, and you hit 10 threes. Very nice performance, and you see that number right there from true freshman Kyle Wolf, 19 points and 6 rebounds.
Well, that was a game where, quite candidly, their big guys were really good, and it was up to Brennan Hughes and Sean O'Brien and Ryan Donald, Kyle, TJ White a little bit came in there, and to contain them. And we really did a good job. I think the two of their guys both got 20 points. But again, we did a good job of containing their inside game. Their guards didn't shoot the ball very well, and I think we had something to do with that. Kyle had a tremendous game. You know, he's an outstanding freshman, still kind of feeling his way along. But I was impressed. We came out. We had probably the most impressive thing to me was, you know, those are back-to-back games, and you have about 45 minutes to prepare the Sunday morning, and our guys really came in and focused well. We even put in a new offense Sunday morning, and they executed it Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So the mental focus was really good. Usually when you have that, you're going to play well. And we played well early. You know, had a drought there late in the game where we just couldn't score, but we were able to hang on, make a few free throws, and win it.
So then the Mules finally get to play at home, and that was last night at the Multi, the Mules and the Tabor Blue Jays and Coach A, Columbia, Missouri, Clarksville, Tennessee in the exhibition season. Then Sioux Falls, South Dakota, finally at the Multi. I know the guys were excited.
Well, they were, and they came out and played well early. That's one thing I thought you never know, but the way they came out was really, really good.
Here we see the highlights. There's Dalen Robinson. He was the Kansas City High School Player of the Year. The penetration to pitch to John Gillum, who was hot from three.
Boy, he was knocking him down early, and Dalen did a great job of getting him the ball, and John did a great job of spotting up and knocking down the jump shot.
Dalen Robinson, outstanding player, transfer from Texas Tech, very selfless player too.
Yeah, he's been very, very unselfish, getting the ball to people. You know, he had 14 assists at the Mizzou game, so he certainly can penetrate it. And there's John knocking down his third three.
That's the third three in a row, and we'll see his final salute of the season right there. That'll be the last one.
Yep, you don't get to do that anymore.
And,
so,
and you know, he wasn't doing it; he was just having fun. But that's, I guess, the emphasis now, and so he won't do it anymore. He wasn't doing it at anybody.
Not if he wants to play, he probably won't do it.
And then a technical on Tabor. Preston Bruns comes in and hits free throws. What a gritty kid, Preston Bruns. This kid can play.
Did a great job. Here's a really good play by Kyle Wolf to Brennan Hughes, something we've been trying to get for several years now. But going back to Preston, you know, he redshirted last year. He got stronger. He really used the redshirt year to his advantage, and he's had some big games for us so far. Here's a nice play by Kyle.
He's a true freshman, and I'm going to go ahead and say at this point, in decades, probably the best true freshman to play here.
Yeah, well, I know he's the best we've had.
Yeah, that's a decade, and I'd say I'd go back another, at least. I can't go back to the early 80s. I know they had some great guys there under Coach Nance and you know, Coach Woldridge, but I can go back in our time here, and he's going to be a lot of fun. TJ White, you talk about a guy that can find the basket and make plays. He does it.
He is. He seems to be in the right spot. He's got a great nose for the ball. Jordan Epps made a great pass to him there a few minutes ago, and you know, here's a nice play by our big guy, Big Sean. Really, really worked hard. Has gotten better. We were going to redshirt him, but he's played so well, and our situation was we felt like we needed him, and so he's going to have to get stronger while he's playing.
Sean, another true freshman from out of Vianney High School, and there was Ryan Donald. Joe Davis getting a little playing time, and that was a great thing about this game, Kim. 12 guys played. Everybody started playing in the first half. Everybody played from 9 minutes to 24 minutes, so you got a chance to evaluate guys, and they got a chance to play.
Right, and you know, everybody wants a chance to play and a chance to prove themselves, and last night was certainly an evaluation game as much as it was a game that counted in the standings.
There you see Dalen with another assist, and the three from Ryan Modjosh, who has shown the propensity to put it on the floor this year a little bit more and finish at the rim. And there's Dalen, who can shoot it. That's a pretty shot. He just doesn't look to shoot first.
No, he's been really good about distributing the ball and getting the ball to the right guys.
There you see the score, 49-25. That's the halftime score, and Mules continue their roll. There's Dalen, but a great follow. That's Brennan Hughes from Moberly, the all-time leading scorer in Spartan history. And he has been rock solid for you.
Yeah, I thought we came out a little flat. I didn't think we came out with the same energy that we had early on, but made a couple plays there after about 3 or 4 minutes, and I think went on a 23-2 run or something, and you know, basically put the game away. Great pass there.
You know, that's the thing, Coach. You blow out the opponent in this game. but as you looked at the box score after the game, everybody's got 5 shots, 4 shots, 6 shots, 5 shots. This is a very unselfish team. The chemistry is great so far, and when you see that early, this team's got a chance to grow, get better, and have a really, really fun season.
Yeah, I think they do. I think if they'll continue to work hard and then understand that there's probably going to be 9 or 10 guys play every night, at least for a while, and everybody's going to have their shot at being the leading scorer or whatever. And if they'll keep that attitude, I think we'll have a good chance. Jordan knocking down a 3, great job by him last night. Kind of been running the point a little bit for us, but also trying to get him to play a little bit more on the wing.
And the Mules win this game, and they're 12-0 now in home openers under head coach Kim Anderson, 87-51 the victory. Preston Bruns, Jordan Epps lead a very balanced attack with 14 points each. The Mules are now 3-0 on the young season. What has impressed you the most about this team here in the early going?
Well, I think being able to play together. We still have a long ways to go, but I think this team is a team that has worked hard in practice, not only physically but mentally. I think for the most part they've kind of caught on to what we want to do and how we want to play, and we still have not. We talked a couple weeks ago on the show about adding things as we go along, and we've still gone kind of slow. We still, like I said, when we got ready to play Augustana, we had to put in a zone offense that we hadn't put in yet because of the type of zone Augustana might play. So, we've added things slowly, and we're gonna get Dylan back today, and we'll probably add a few more things now as we go through. We've got a game Saturday against Baker, and then we have a week off before we go to Quincy. So this will be a little bit of a time when we can learn and put some more things in that we need as we go down, as we get into the conference season.
Saturday night, 7:30, the Mules and the Baker Wildcats at the multi-purpose building. You see it there. And boy, Coach, after that, as you said, it's Quincy, it's St. Mary's, it's, I think, Southwestern Oklahoma, and then, right around the corner, December 5th against Fort Hays State. So Baker's, as you mentioned, always a solid team, but, hopefully if you play well, a chance to get better, and then it really heats up again.
Yeah, the schedule, we don't have very many home games. And there's a couple reasons for that. The main reason is it's really hard to get people to come here and play. And so we have, we're taking the show on the road, go to Quincy and then go down to San Antonio and play a couple games there against some good basketball teams. And then we're back at home in early December to play Hayes. And so it's coming fast. And, we have to keep getting together as a team and working as a team and try to get better every time we go out, no matter what the score is. We want to try to improve, and we talked about that. Every time you go out to play, it's an opportunity to improve. And I thought we did that last night, and hopefully we'll do that this weekend.
Off to a great start. Fun team to watch. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday night. Thanks for the chat. Talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, Jonesy.
In just a moment here on Sports Page, we'll preview the Mules wrestling season with head coach Justin Ensign and 2013 national qualifier Eric Mateo. That's next here on KMOS-TV.
This year's team compared to last year's team, we're pretty young. We're fairly young. We had some heavy hitters in the upper weights last year. We don't have this year. Our lower weights are young. We're young. We got a lot of freshmen. This time last year, we were down to about 25 kids, and we still have about 38, 39 kids out. So it's looking good.
This year's team, for one, we've been tough on them so far. I think we got a lot of new faces in there, but we're not as young as we were last year at the same time. Like I said, one of our things has been making them tougher. The guys have been working really hard. I think we got some experience. We had a pretty good recruiting class. I think we counted 7 guys who are former state champs. And that's not counting guys like Mikalee Collins, who's going to be, and Casey Bryant, guys who are probably going to be in our starting lineup who weren't state champs, and they're true freshmen. So, yeah, you know, guys are really excited. Like I said, our biggest recruit, probably Frank Cagnina. He's showed up in the early season rankings. He's been to the Division I national tournament before, so he's got a high expectation for himself coming in. You know, things we're doing different. We're always tweaking things. You know, I got besides Coach Gillis, I got you know, a couple of new, my new graduate assistant, another new coach bringing a lot in, Sean White and Dylan Azinger, and as well as my head assistant Blake Gillis are all from a championship program. They're from a program where their assistant coaches do a lot of hands-on, everyday work with the guys, so they've done a lot with that. And just, you know, other than that, I mean, really nothing too much different. Just working more hands-on, one-on-one, giving the guys all the attention they can, you know, that they need to get to where they want to be. We do that at the beginning of the year. We do set goals with the guys. You know, most of that is individual. You know, obviously, you know, with our big goals, obviously, you know, are to win the conference. You know, get back in the, you know, top 15 in nationals, and you know, and increase the amount of academic All-Americans we have is always, that's in there too. But you know, we work, like I said, we work individually with each guy on each goal where they need to be and where they're going to get themselves. You know, and we've met with them a couple times individually, and which is tough with 37 guys on the roster and finding time for all of them. But I'll sit down with each one of them and see where they're at with their goals. And there's always, you know, the big picture stuff, but there's also, hey, you know, win my starting spot and you know, place at the first tournament. But we really harp on them, you know, week by week, day by day, get better, because those guys who make those, you know, everybody in college is good. Everybody's been a state champ. Everybody's been really good at, you know, done a lot in high school. But the guys who really make the climb and do really well in college make those daily, weekly, you know, adjustments as the season goes on and get better. You know, a lot of guys, yeah, it's not always, not everybody goes undefeated. You know, it's guys who are able to bounce back and are real successful.
Every week, you know, we try and set goals. Like last week we had 2 duels. Obviously we wanted to shut out both teams. We were pretty close to doing that. You know, we want a conference title. We want a regional title. We want 10 qualifiers, but realistically, you know, we got to get better every week, and we focus on that day by day, practice by practice, and then when you're in a tournament, match by match. All my coaches and all my family really motivate me. Dan Gable once said if you took a gold medal and broke it down to everyone that helped you, it'd turn to dust. So, I mean, I wrestle for my family, my friends, my coaches. They motivate me while I'm out there. Sometimes if I lose, I feel like I let my family, especially my coaches, down. So,
you know, I think all our starters and even some guys who may not find a spot for, you know, we're real excited about. Our big one, like I said, Frank Cagnina. He, like I said, you name it, he's done it in high school, former top recruit. And, that guy, you know, is making the most of it. You know, this is a second chance for him, and he's really making the most of it. That guy shows up, works really hard every day. Eric Mateo continues to get better. We're excited about him. You know, our returning national qualifier, I think he's got a bad taste in his mouth about how things ended last year. Pushing him, Aaron Engel, former state champ out of Staley. That kid shows up every day, and he wants it really bad. And you know, Alex Schmersel, 157, transfer Arizona State. Again, another guy making the most of the second chance. You know, we got 2 true freshmen who so far look like they'll be in the lineup. Casey Bryant out of Winnetonka and Mikalee Collins from here in town. And they're young, but they're both going in battle every day. You know, they're expecting to win now, so we're excited about that. And, like I said, I think when we wrestled the other day, we used 6 new guys who hadn't been in the lineup before. So it's been exciting so far, you know, getting to work with all of them. Jake Freeman, who was injured last year, and there Josh Thompson out of Odessa. There's another kid, he's a transfer again, but somebody we got to find a spot for.
I love to compete. I love wrestling. It's my favorite thing on this planet to do. Not only that, I love hanging out with my team. My teammates are awesome. They got the same goals as me, so that makes it easier. We're all striving to the same thing. So.
The Mules are 2-0 on the young season, and this Sunday they host the UCM Open at the Multi. Action will begin at 10 a.m. and it will run throughout the day. In just a moment, we'll tell you where all the Mules and Jennies are competing this weekend as Sports Page continues right after this. And we're back for one final time tonight here on the UCM Sports Page. But before we bid you adieu this evening, let's run down our upcoming schedule of events so you know where to follow the UCM Mules and Jennies. And it's a big weekend for volleyball for the number 5 ranked Jennies. They close out the regular season with 2 matches on Dr. Peggy Martin Court at the Multi this weekend. The Jennies need to win both to claim at least a share of the MIAA title. Friday night, the Jennies will honor seniors Taylor Goodness and Julia Bates as they host 7th-ranked Nebraska-Kearney in a battle of 2 of the top 7 teams of the country. First serve Friday night is set for 7 p.m. Saturday, the Gens will close out the regular season hosting Fort Hays State at 4 p.m. We'll have both of those broadcasts for you on 1450 AM and WarrensburgRadio.com. You can listen on your smartphones at the Listen Live Coco link at WarrensburgRadio.com as well. The UCM Media Network will provide a pay-per-view video webcast. Then next Tuesday, by the way, at 7, the Gens will host an MIAA tournament first-round match at the Multi to open the postseason. The 14th-ranked Jennies soccer team will take part in the NCAA Central Region tournament this weekend in Mankato, Minnesota. The Jennies are the number 4 seed in the Central Region. They will face the number 5 seed, the Southwest Minnesota State Mustangs, at 1 p.m. on Friday in Mankato. The winner plays Sunday at 1 against the number 1 seed, Minnesota State. Mules basketball will host the Baker Wildcats Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. at the Multi. We'll have that game for you on the UCM Sports Radio Network, and the UCM Media Network will provide a pay-per-view video webcast at UCMathletics.com. The Mules wrestling team will host the UCM Open on Sunday at the Multi. Action begins at 10 a.m. and will run throughout the day. The number 3-ranked Jennies bowling team will take part in the Maryland Eastern Shore Hawk Classic this weekend. That event will be held in Millsboro, Delaware. And the 8th-ranked Jennies basketball team will be in Winter Park, Florida, Friday and Saturday for the Rollins Tip-Off Classic. The Jennies will face Florida Tech Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. On Saturday, the 8th-ranked Jennies will take on the hosts and number 25-ranked Rollins. That'll be an 11 a.m. Central Time tip on Saturday. We'll have the broadcast for you on 98.5 The Bar, 1450 Coco, and WarrensburgRadio.com. And that is it for another edition of the UCM Sports Page. We hope you enjoyed the show. Until next week, for our entire hardworking crew, this is Sean Jones saying thanks for watching the Central Missouri Sports Page here on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. Support for Sports Page is provided by Union Station, Crossroads to Technology, a one-stop shopping source for technology needs, campus-compatible computers, software for Mac and PCs, and much more. Located on campus on the lower floor of the Elliott Union in Warrensburg. Union Station, Crossroads to Technology. And promotional support for Sports Page is provided by 1450 Coco, 98.5 The Bar, and WarrensburgRadio.com. 1450 Coco, 98.5 The Bar, and WarrensburgRadio.com, the radio home of UCM Athletics.